Radhe Radhe, Dandava Pranam.
Dandava Pranam.
Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Vino Bihari Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Harinam Sankirtana ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Pranama Vaisnavas. We will be starting with Mangalacharan. You can slide the whole thing over a little bit and it might be more stable.
Okay.
Page 1 of this book, Shri Gauriya Giti Guccha, Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam. Before we begin,
We should do it after.
yeah?
Some more.
Okay, good. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta-Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaisnava Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Radhika Shri Vishakhanvitamshta Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnanam Janashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namaham Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gunayishya Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirasha Namami Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Shri Krishna Pada Jivitaika Hridi Chaitanya Leela Sarasam Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapadye Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarine Namaham Vishnupadaya Gaurapresthaya Bhutale भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशवैति नामिने अतीमत्यक्षरित्राय स्वश्रितानं च पालिने जीवदुःखे सदर्ताय श्रीनाम प्रेमदायिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्तो सरस्वतीति नामिने श्रीवर्षभारती देवी दयिताय कृपाभये कृष्णाय सम्बन्धविज्ञान दयिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वलप्रेमभ्य श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिना श्रीगौरकरुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोऽस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये विनतारिणे रूपानुगम्भिरुद्धाव सिद्धान्तवन्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षाद्वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भारसम्बोधे पदं पूजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगमरायते गौराविर्भावभूमे स्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिया वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नमो गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतं सुरतोपङ्गो मम मन्दं मदेगति मत्सर्वस्वपदम्बोज राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमलो श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्री श्रीराधा श्रीगोविन्ददेव प्रेष्ठादिति सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमद्रसरसारुन्धि वंशिवततस्थितः कर्षण्मेरुस्वरे गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तु नः वृन्दाये तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णा भक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु Cheto darpanamarjanam dhamamahadamam nirvapanam Shreyakairapachandrikaviharanam Vidyamadhujivanam Anandam Mudivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamritashadanam Sarvatma Sapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Rameva Kevalam Kalo Naskeva 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 Pratiranyaka Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Rama Hare Hare. There's some smoke coming into the back there. Huh? So before we begin, and we'll probably make this announcement a few times, the father of one of our dear friends whom I went to Gurukul with, I think he was about 5 years old in the Gurukul and I was 9 in Vrindavan Gurukul. His name is Nandu Joshi. So his father, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Yashomatinandan Prabhu, is in a very, very severely critical condition and does not look very promising. And so we want to, and we also assured Nandu that we would pray on behalf of his father and also that we would tell the devotees that we can offer prayer for him. Yashomatinandan Prabhu utilized his life in serving Srila Prabhupada. He built a big temple in Ahmedabad in Gujarat and has been serving for his whole life. So, of course, Srila Prabhupada will be merciful, but still the prayers of the devotees are always welcomed and beneficial. For whatever the outcome is, we can pray for his eternal spiritual benefit. And right now, it's extremely critical situation.
His daughter and daughter-in-law said that this morning he had 2 very major heart attacks and that he only has a 5% chance of survival. And so they're checking to see, but he may leave any moment.
So, just please keep that in mind. Another devotee is departing from this world, and someone who is very close to us. He is their own parent. So, in fact, he has many children whom we grew up with. So, please pray for him. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya, page 32. Oh, I'm playing Mridanga, I forgot. Sorry. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Korue Dase Trinape Khayoti Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Guru Parampara ki jai. Ohe Vaishnava Thakur, page 39. If you do not have a songbook, then Jiva Pavana Prabhu very kindly and mercifully posts the bhajans in the comment section of the thread. So just scroll to his most recent post and you will find the bhajan there, along with translation and very frequently beautiful commentaries from our acharyas, our Guru Varga. And thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. And Dandavat Pranam to all Vaishnavas.
Dandavat Pranam.
Also, Lavangalata posts the page just in case someone forgets, so you can always look. If you have the book, Lavangalata is posting the pages. Lavangalata Devi.
Ohe Vaishnava Thakuro Goyar Sagaro Edase Karuna Kori. Dasi Guru Vishaya Vasana Rupa, page 48. Vishayo vasano rupo chittero vikaro
Vishaya vasana
Jwale গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে পুলক শরীর, হরি হরি বলিতে নয়নে বাবে নীর। I think it's page 86. Yes. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Sachinandan Gaura Hari ki jai, Shri Rupa Raghunath Pade ki jai. Bandhu sange jadi tava ranga parihas. Page 1, 2, 4. And if you don't have a songbook, then just scroll to Jiva Pavana Prabhu's most recent post and you will find the bhajan there. Page 1, 2, 4. Bandhu sange jadi tava ranga parihas. Bandhu sange jadi tava ranga parihas. Bandhu sange jadi tava ranga parihas. O bandhu sange jadi tava ranga parihas. Viva I think the wind carries it up. Radhe Jai Jai Madhava Jai Jai, page 341. Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Lalite Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Lalite Jai Radhe Jai 15.
50.
50. Ah.
He left at 5.
So we just discovered just now that
Jivapavana Prabhu.
wrote it. Okay. Are you sure? Has that been confirmed? I'm just double checking.
I'm pretty sure. There was a watch party that ended.
In either case, the father of our friend Nandu Jashamati Nandan Prabhu, according to our sources, has just departed from this world. Nonetheless, the soul is eternal, and we are praying to Srila Prabhupada, to our Guru Varga, to Gaur Nityananda Prabhu, to Shri Radha and Krishna, to mercifully carry him and take him.
Absolutely, he left. Radha Joshi wrote too.
Okay.
He's gone.
So Jashamati Nandan Prabhu just departed from this world. He dedicated his life in the service of Srila Prabhupada. As Nandu said, he was definitely Prabhupada's man. And so, we're now going to call out Mahamantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And we can pray for his Atma to be carried swiftly toward his final destination of loving service to Radha and Krishna. And pray to Srila Prabhupada, his Gurudev, to hold on tightly to him or allow him to hold on tightly, either way. He had some health complications and also contracted the COVID-19 virus, which brought him to the hospital and then exacerbated all of his other situations. He was functioning okay before that, so he just departed from this disease which has taken too many people recently that we know or who we are close to. So may he be victorious in his journey, and may his Guru Varga mercifully take him under their wing.
And may his family find strength.
And also, may his family find strength. We can also send our prayers for them. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Jaya
की जय, प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम शचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय, राधा बिनु बिहारी जी की जय, राधा रमन जी की जय, गिरिराज महाराज की जय, हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि।
यशोमती नंदन
प्रभु की जय। A very nice devotee wrote me recently because he saw that so many people that we know personally or whom are connected through those who are close to us have been departing this world within a very short time frame. And he kind of just gave some, like, he said it must be difficult with so many people in your life departing. And so he was kind of like giving some emotional support. And I was thinking about it, you know, as human beings who are still conditioned in this world, if it didn't affect us, we would not be human. We wouldn't be a social caring being. And so I was thinking about it, that there's a lot of people that I know, a lot of persons that I have interacted with in so many different ways. And in this situation, I didn't know him personally, but his son is a very good friend of ours. And so because his son is experiencing the heartbreak of his father leaving this world, I'm also able to somehow feel for him. And so honestly, it was reminding me of the mood of the maidservants of Srimati Radhika when she's feeling separation from Krishna. They're also feeling so much of her heart because of their closeness to her, because of their mood of intimacy with her. They're also helplessly feeling that mood of separation that she's feeling. I just read a quote from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Yesterday, someone sent it to me, I believe it was Vrindavan Vilasini Didi. And in that quote, he's saying that actually our goal, our mood, our everything, is how to serve the Vrajabasis in their separation from Krishna. So I was just thinking about that in terms of it. I didn't know him personally, but because I have affection for his son, and his son is feeling this heartbreak, and also the other children, I know them, that my heart is also feeling for their heartbreak. And it does affect. I remember years before, we were in Fiji and someone had passed away. And our Gurudev told us that you can do kirtan there, but don't follow the body. And I was wondering why Gurudev ordered that. But seeing the desperate heartbreak of those family members, how their hearts were breaking, how tears were flowing, how they were fainting and really screaming and crying, and the mother was hitting her chest, and it was just intense to witness. Only someone with a stone heart could not be moved by that. And so I was feeling moved at that time, and I was understanding a little bit of why it wasn't that I should be going along with it, because my heart would be pulled, my attachments, my absorption would be pulled in that. But still there's cumulative, I would say cumulative grief that builds up when so many persons who are close, even with one person, but so many, or those who are close to them, to those who are close to you, are departing. So, Jashimati Nandan Prabhu, a dear disciple of Srila Prabhupada, just left this world. And we are sending prayers out for him, to his Gurudev, to his Guru Varga, to Gornitai Radhesham, to please mercifully carry him swiftly and rapidly toward his ultimate destination. And also for his family. I don't know how many children he had, many children. But also to his family, who are now feeling bereft of his association. And so many other devotees also, who knew him very well and who have served along with him. So we're sending our prayers for those devotees as well, but especially his family members and also for him. How do I shift from this? Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Priyatmane Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Nityanamine Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Harshvasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I'm offering my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Prabhupada Om Vishnupad, astottara Shakti Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja. And the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Prabhupada Om Vishnupad, astottara Shakti Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And to all of our Rupanuga, Gaudiya, Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present and future, including all of you who are present with us today, I am offering my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, dear Vaishnavas, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Recently there's been a lot of buzz about making the perfect community where everyone comes together as one. Imagine if all the people could come as one and have a beautiful community and do everything so beautifully and sweetly and be separate from all of the chaos of this material world. And I was meditating on this concept. The concept is a reality. The concept is possible, but not via a mundane process in the material world. It's illusion. This place, this material world, is known as samsara, bhavasagar, ocean of suffering, the place of difficulty, the place of death. And especially in this age, Kali Yuga, it's the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. So I was thinking about that conception. Let's rebel against this society and start our own perfect society. This can happen only if Krishna is the center and all souls who are present within that society are actually pure-hearted. We've seen so many, even Vaishnava societies, endeavor, and even within that, because we all have this tendency to lord it over material nature. These are the words that Srila Prabhupada used. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada would use these words, lord it over. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj would call it exploitation tendency. Because of these natures, that's why we're in this material world, because we want to exercise our independent nature to exploit, to take for our sense enjoyment, to take advantage of others, whether we realize it or not, and to be the center of our own universe, that everything revolves around myself. That's why we're here in this material world. And coming into Vaishnava association, we get training and teaching how to become less selfish and more centered on Krishna. So to the degree that we are more centered on Krishna, to that degree, we can have a perfect, harmonious community. If we are only rebelling against material, current mundane society, trying to make our own perfect society based on agriculture and based on not following the rules out there, but following the rules inside, the first thing to recognize is that, well, all of the people out there have a disagreement with all of us. So it is actually based on disagreement. That we're trying to push that away and start this. We cannot make any perfect situation in this material world through any material means. Because to the degree that we enjoy, this is Jaiva Dharma, to the degree that one endeavors to enjoy, even sattva gun, means the mode of goodness, the nature of this world is that everything has its equal and opposite reaction. So what happens when you bring your enjoyment up, and even your sattva gun, but it's still bound within this material world? You will have to also experience the opposite. So as we endeavor to enjoy more, then the extreme will also come naturally. It's the way of this world. And Krishna tells Arjuna, from the highest planet in the material world, Brahmalok, down to the lowest, all are places of misery. Abrahma bhuvanaloka puna avartinorjuna. All are places of misery. Because within the material world, everyone is bound to experience janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. The suffering of the threefold miseries, experiencing again and again the repetition of birth, disease, old age, and death, again and again, up to the highest planets, down to the lowest. So this material world has not been made to be the perfect place. Our acharyas have explained that it is the place for us to learn the valuable lesson, that this is not really my place of enjoyment. How do they say? Hammered on the anvils of material energy. You know when a blacksmith is using his hammer on the hot metal and smashing that metal on other metal. So this is the nature of this material world. Again and again being smashed, disappointed. But we can say gradually we are being purified, gradually. The transcendent realm, or in other words, the spiritual world, according to Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, those who are tattvadarshi, those who know because they have experience of that realm, that reality, who are sharing that with us. That realm has a speciality where everything is pure, everything is transcendental, everything is conscious, and nothing is selfish or self-centered except for Krishna. He is the supreme enjoyer, and all others' function is to serve him. So because of this, everything is harmonious, because everything is acting perfectly according to their intrinsic nature. Krishna's intrinsic nature is that he is Vishai Bhagavan, the supreme enjoyer, personality of Godhead. And all others fall into the category of Ashray Tattva, or Ashray Bhagavan. Those who are meant to serve him and please him. Ekala Ishvara Krishna Ar Sababritya. There's only one supreme controller, that is Krishna, and all others are his servants. So, as Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj explained, and I know I've told it many times, but there may be some new listeners, and I like to think about it quite often. If you have a compass, when you draw circles, you put the needle in one point. You can draw 1,000 circles. As long as the needle is in the center, there will be no conflict among any of those circles. All of them will be harmonious with each other. That is the nature of the transcendental realm, and that's why everything is harmonious. In this material world, everyone is trying to be their own center. So even if you have 2 or 3 or 5 good, nice, sattvic people that come together, but who are still in the bodily conception of life, because of the nature of being bound in the material energy, the 4 defects covering us, we have the tendency to come under illusion. We have imperfect senses. We have the tendency to make mistakes and cheat others. Invariably, this will happen one day or another, because we will want to extract more, take more. Even if we think, oh, I'm so good, I'm such a good person. I remember I was selling t-shirts in Seattle on the waterfront, the one that collapsed into the water recently. So I was selling these t-shirts, and I was the best salesperson there. And the shop, the aquarium just next door, was selling t-shirts for $25, $30 each. And I was outside selling them for 3 for $10. 3 for $10. What a great deal. And these t-shirts had really nice printing on them saying save the environment and do all of this. And I thought, okay, I'm doing a good service. I'm selling these t-shirts for really, really cheap. So a few things were happening simultaneously. 1, I was making some money for myself. 2, I was giving a really good deal to the people out there. 3, I was making a lot of money for the company I was working for. 4, the aquarium was losing a lot of money and a lot of business because I was way outselling them. I was also competing with the other people who were selling t-shirts, but I was better than them, so they were also losing out. And then those poor children in Honduras or China or India or wherever who were manufacturing those t-shirts also were suffering. So many were benefiting and so many were being disappointed or even suffering for this one thing. And that is the nature of this material world. It's all bound up in each other. Everything is bound up. One movement this way creates so many difficulties over there. So then you try to fix something over there and 100,000 over this way. Gurudev said that. You try to fix one problem and 10 will come in its place. It's like trying to empty the ocean by taking a glass of water out. Poof, immediately it fills up again. There's only one way, and no other way. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam, kalo nastyeva, 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 gatiranyata. Through the process of taking shelter of the holy names, forms, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna in the association of his pure devotees, one can attain perfection. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells what are the characteristics, what happens as a result of taking shelter of and serving Sri Harinam Prabhu. All of the dust, trust me, there's a lot of dust. It's everywhere here. So much dust. All of the material, mundane muck and dust which is accumulated on our heart for millions and billions and trillions and quadrillions and googles of births. All of these karmas means action and reaction. All of the results to our simple activities and everything. This can be cleared off. The mirror of the heart. Cheto darpana marjanam, Mahaprabhu says. Marjana means to clean, and the darpan means mirror, and Cheta means heart. So cleaning the mirror of the heart. Of all of the dust, it's not only dust. Just like yesterday, I told you, my fingers had gloves made of glue. And I told you it was a mixture. It was like a mixture of school glue and super glue. It started hardening more and more and more, and it took hours to come off. Finally, it's pretty much off of my hands. But anyhow, Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaja explained that some have just a little dust, and it's very easy to take off. But not everyone has only a little dust. So many have so much mud, which has become hardened. And with mud that's become hardened, you can't just spray it off with water. You need to scrape it a little bit, clean it again, until it becomes clean. Others, they have more like wood coating, and you need to chisel it off. And he said others are like stone or steel. How do you get that off? He said you require something very powerful to break off all of that hardening, the hardening of millions of lifetimes of anarthas and karmas and sins and action and reaction. He said then you require dynamite, something very powerful. And I was like, okay, now he's talking to me. Now he's talking to me. And everyone looked at each other. Yep. At that point, we understood. We were the ones that required the dynamite. For those of you who don't know what dynamite is, it's a highly explosive material that they use for, say if they need to blow up a mountain or something, you can literally shatter rock. So, he said it requires that kind of powerful thing to clean off this mirror of the heart. And what happens as a result of taking shelter of Sri Harinam Prabhu, serving Krishna in the form of Harinam? Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. Bhava Mahadavagni means the blazing forest fire of material existence. And there's a reason why he calls it a blazing forest fire. Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj said, if you see, what was that example, Sudevi, do you remember? Can you share it?
Which one, like the forest fire?
The one which makes you shake in...
Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj was talking about once he was on a train, and he used to go back and forth past this forest, which before was like a barren land. And then he began to explain that the government spent so much time, money, and energy, and they planted this amazing forest. One day, due to the rubbing of trees together, it turned into a blazing forest fire. And he said nothing man-made could put out that fire. It was just horrendous. And he said, and the heart was trembling at seeing that. He said those trees that were planted were about to fruit, and those fruits were to be offered and tasted and so sweet. He said similarly, when we see that somebody has attained this human form of life, what is the fruit of this human form of life? To be able to understand, who am I? What is my purpose? Who is this Jivatma, and how do I attain my goal? He said when we see that these jivas, these personalities in these human forms of life are just engaging in the blazing forest fire in this material world, he said the heart begins to tremble. And when they fall back into samsara, he said so many fruits were meant to be offered to Guru and Krishna. So the Vaishnavas' hearts bleed when they see that the jivas are wasting this so valuable human form of life. So Cheto Darpanam Arjanam, how cleaning the mirror of this heart is so important, so we can understand I am soul, and my nature, my necessity is to love Krishna, and that is eternal. So he was giving that as an explanation of how the Vaishnava's hearts, if you see a forest fire, if you're near one, you tremble. If a house is on fire, we were in a house where just the kitchen was on fire, and it was like this roaring kind of rolling fire, and we were shaking and trembling. But imagine a huge forest fire, people running here and there, animals running, screaming. The blazing sound of that fire, it causes trembling. And that's the depth of how the Vaisnava feels when they see even one jiva running away from the path of bhakti and not using this human form of life. He said it breaks their heart.
Thank you, Sudevi. Powerful. Hey, give me some of those questions, because I can't access them.
You can access them there.
Never mind. So, Bhava Mahadabagni Nirvapanam. The blazing forest fire of material existence is completely extinguished, Nirvapanam, by taking shelter of and serving Krishna in the form of his holy names, Harinam Prabhu. Nirvapanam. Completely extinguished. And then, more than that, so this is talking about by the cleaning of the heart. How? By taking shelter of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by taking shelter of the names of Krishna. Then this blazing forest fire of material existence is extinguished. But still we have endured so many burns. We require something. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna says, I can't remember the verse exactly, he said, but when someone is experiencing the blazing forest fire of material existence, just by calling my names, they will feel cooled and they will feel soothed. Sashreya kairava chandrika vitaranam. This is a result of taking shelter of and serving Krishna's holy names. That one will feel the peacefulness, the pacification, the soothingness, the softness, the coolingness of those millions of moons. Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam. And what happens? Also, it is the life of all transcendental knowledge. What does that mean? Means automatically, through taking shelter of Sri Harinam Prabhu, through serving Krishna, that all transcendental knowledge will manifest in the heart. And what is that knowledge? It gives life to that. What is that knowledge? Who am I? Who is my beloved Lord, my Ishtadev? What is the nature of our relationship? How will we love each other? How will I serve my Lord? How will my Lord reciprocate? All of this will also manifest. And then on top of that, Anandam Budivardhanam, complete bliss and nectar, Pratipadam, Purna Amrita Ashvadanam, at every step tasting transcendental nectar. And everything will feel completely blissful. The mind, the body, the soul, everything will become completely satisfied and satiated. Sarvatma Snapanam. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. All glories to the Sankirtan of Shri Krishna. Sankirtan doesn't just mean singing in the streets. Sankirtan means kirtan in the association of pure devotees. You can say Sangha Kirtan or very powerful Kirtan. The sun means something, it gives an emphasis. But Kirtan in the association of devotees. Kirtan of Krishna's names, of his forms, of his qualities, and of his pastimes. All glories, all victory. Param Vijayate means they are supremely victorious. So if we try to take shelter of this material energy through material purposes and try to make a perfect situation here, through that process, Srila Guru Govinda Maharaj was laughing at the idea. He's like, Are Baba Bhagavan, Krishna did not make a mistake. This world is not meant to be that place. Oh, the perfect place for me to enjoy perfectly. It's not meant for being that. He said Krishna didn't make a mistake. He knows what he did. He knows what he made. This world is not the place for us to be the perfect enjoyer. This is the place for us to learn that that is not what I am meant for. That I am made to love, to serve my eternal beloved Lord, and that is Krishna. So this world wasn't made to be that perfect, what is it? Imagine if everyone can just live as one and be one happy family. Every time I've heard that song, I think you know what I'm referring to. Every time I've seen those lyrics, the idea reposted I just instantaneously remember the monkeys of Vrindavan, because they all have that capacity as well. They have that capacity. They're just monkeys. They don't own any house that they can fight over. They don't own any property that they can fight over. They don't own any food, any clothes, anything. They're just monkeys. So why are they not all living peacefully together? Every single day. I don't know what it is. It's like this building right here, just above us, seems to be the place where two different rival groups tend to clash. I heard the worst, most terrible fight that I've ever heard with the monkeys just yesterday. The worst in all of these years. I heard it just yesterday. And even the other night, a male monkey grabbed a female monkey's baby and threw it off the veranda kind of thing. He was okay. But right into the middle of us, and then they thought we did it. And they were like, ah, like this. But the point is, when you put conditioned souls together in a room, their conditioned nature will tend to manifest. And so the idea that everything will just be spontaneously perfect is a farce. It won't happen in the material world through material means. Only to the degree that we all endeavor toward awakening the nature of our souls, which is to love the Supreme Lord, to love God. To the degree that purity is manifesting in the heart, to that degree, then we will find that perfect peacefulness. I've been around the world for 20 years. I've stayed in hundreds of homes. I've been to hundreds of yoga studios and been to so many different scenarios in so many different countries, and it's the same everywhere. Even you have a beautiful, sweet community with really nice, peaceful yogis, and this one doesn't get along with that one, and this one doesn't like the leader, and this one falls in love with that one, and then creates a problem for that one, and it's just the nature of this material world, and it happens again and again and again. So the only real remedy for all of this blazing forest fire of material existence is taking shelter of Krishna's holy names in the guidance of his pure devotees. Tannama rupa charitadi sukirtananu smrityo kramena rasanam manasim niyojya tishthan brajetad anuragi janarugami kalam nayat akilam ityupadesha saram. This is the advice of Srila Rupa Goswami. Actually, he says it is the essence of all advice. So it's not just advice, it is the essence. Kalam nayat, without cessation, constantly, 24 hours a day, without cessation, under the guidance of the pure devotee of Krishna, residing in the Dham. Means, really, we can be residing in Vrindavan Dham, but actually it means residing in the guidance of, in the service of that person whose heart is saturated with Braja Bhav. To do what? To constantly remember and serve Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes with deep intention. With sambandha jnana. This is sukirtana, sukirtananu. Not just kirtan, sukirtan. Srila Bhakti Kamal Govinda Maharaj, he once said, when you're chanting Harinam, he said you should be like a fish. We should be like fishes, he said. He said, any fish which is on the surface easily can be caught by the net of the fisherman. That would be Maya. He said, so you should be very deep, very, very deeply absorbed. There it will be completely peaceful, and there's no opportunity for any fisherman to catch you. We should be like that fish, very deep at the bottom of the ocean, completely absorbed in taking shelter of Sri Harinam Prabhu and serving Harinam Prabhu. This is Sukirtananu. Under the guidance of, in the association of those pure devotees, serving them, but also doing what they are doing. Remembering Krishna's names, Tannama, his forms, Rupa, his qualities, Charita, names, forms, qualities, pastimes. It says Charita, Adi. Charita means pastimes. Guna is qualities. Adi means and so forth. Sukirtananu. Smrityo kramena rasanam manase niyojya. When we come to that point, we will be able to remember the eightfold pastimes of Krishna, and then spontaneously all of it will come. Everything will manifest in the association of Krishna's pure devotees. So, because this subject kept coming to me again and again and again, I was reflecting deeply upon it. It doesn't just happen. You know, sometimes people say, oh, we should just let it happen organically. My experience with everything organic in this material world, you can imagine. What happens to organic things? They tend to gradually, and not just organic, everything in this material world, it tends to disintegrate. That's the nature of organics. It tends to disintegrate. That's the nature of material and mundane things. Everything has a beginning and an end. But the transcendental soul, Krishna, his dham, his eternal associates, his pastimes, and all of that is all nitya. It is all eternal. It is all sanatan. It always exists and always will exist. So those with intelligence, I'm quoting Srimad Bhagavatam, don't take it personally, yajantihi sumedhasa. Those who are, the word su is there also. Remember, sukirtananu, sukirtan, sumedhasa. So su means like, it's giving a lot of emphasis. Sumedhasa means very intelligent, or actually, really, truly intelligent. What will they do? What has happened in this time? Krishna varnam fasha Krishna. Krishna himself has appeared, but not looking like Krishna. How is he looking? Akrishna. Not darkish complexion, but golden complexion. Sangha upanga ashtraparshanam. He has descended into this material world along with all of his associates, his weapons, his dham, everything. This is how the Lord appears. Yagyai sankirtana praya. What is he doing? He's preaching the process for attaining perfection within this age. That is sankirtan. Means deep, deep absorption in calling out the names of Krishna, praying to Krishna for loving service. O Radha, O Krishna, please engage me in your service. So Srimad Bhagavatam says, those who are extremely intelligent will take to this path of calling out loudly the holy names of the Lord with that deep mood, Sankirtan. Not possible, Devaki. Come on, everything is perfect everywhere. Even when under the guidance in a community, the individuals who are not perfect still fall out with each other. It happens in social groups, in religious groups, even within own families. It happens all of the time. It is the nature of this world. If we take shelter of the processes given by our pure Guru Varga, then we can actually get out of that repetition of birth, disease, old age, and death. So Srimad Bhagavatam tells us, the first aphorism in Vedanta Sutta tells us, don't waste any more time. Now is the time that you have a capacity to think, atato brahma jigyasa, and to consider and to choose. Now is the time to choose. Now you should inquire about the truth, reality. And we were talking yesterday about sambandha gyan, means knowledge of our relationship. It starts with those questions, those existential questions. Not just eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, which we have done through every species of life since forever. We can also do it in this human form. If we're not exercising our capacity to endeavor for perfection within the human form, then Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam says that we are no better than dvipada pashu, two-legged animals. Because we're doing the same thing as all other animals are doing. Eating, sleeping, mating, protecting ourselves. But now we have a capacity, a particular nature, which allows us to question only from this human form. Who am I? What am I doing here? what is my purpose? Why am I experiencing suffering? What is it all about? What is the truth? Is there something beyond this? Is there really a God? Is there really a soul? All of these questions, beginning to search and question and do more research and try to understand. And even as much as we question, still, if we want the answers to really truly manifest themselves in our hearts, then we must take shelter of the holy names of Krishna. So now, I want to continue going beyond Vaikuntha with all of you, because we don't have much time left before Kartik begins. So this beautiful treasure is one of the commentaries of our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, on the beautiful heart's manifestation of Sri Sanatan Goswami, known as Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And it's the section where Gopkumar is making his journey from here as a sadhaka, as a practicer of the path of devotion, all the way to perfection. So it's very applicable to us. And his perfection will fully ripen as a cowherd boyfriend of Krishna in Vrindavan. And ours will fully ripen according to what is the nature of our own soul. And Sri Guru, who is actually truly qualified Guru, can detect the nature of our soul as any expert gardener can detect the nature of any seed. They can see its potential. What will happen when it is planted? It will grow in a certain way. It requires this much sunlight, this much water, this kind of nutrients, so much protection. It will become so big, it will have so many branches, it will have a certain shaped leaves, it will have a certain kind of flower, certain kind of fragrance, and a specific kind of fruit. So Guru, expert Guru who knows the truth, can detect all of this and nourish us accordingly by their association and their instructions. And they may give different instructions to different individuals according to their different individual, eternal, transcendental potentials, their own individual capacities. So, for the denizens of Vaikuntha, they found, or they have experienced that this is perfection because that is where their Atmas are made to be. They are eternally associates of Srimad Narayan and Vaikuntha. So we've heard that Sri Narad Muni had to make sure that Lakshmi Devi, Garuda, or no other associates, eternal associates of Narayan and Vaikuntha were present when Narada Muni was telling Kumar, you gotta go further, go beyond Vaikuntha. You're not meant to be here. You won't find what you're looking for here. And so by the coaxing of Narada Muni, our Gurudev was telling yesterday, by the grace of Guru and Vaishnavas and Bhagavan, they increase our eagerness, they increase our greed. They increase our greed to move forward on the path of devotion. And that greed is to serve our beloved Lord in the natural way that our souls are meant to serve Him. So by their association, that greed is increased. So I've just jumped a little bit ahead. I want to, before opening this beautiful treasure, pray in the dust of their lotus feet that may even a particle of their moods, which are present within these pages, manifest itself within our hearts. And it seems kind of strange if I'm saying only a particle, but we see it again and again in the bhajans of our Vaishnava Acharyas. Tumi kripa kori shraddha bindu diya. Give me your mercy. Give me just one drop of faith. One drop, bindu. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he made a book called Bhaktivedanta Sindhu Bindu. One drop of the ocean of Bhakti Ras. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what did he give to Rupa Goswami? One drop of the ocean of Bhakti Ras. So Rupa Goswami made Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the ocean of Bhakti Rasamrita, from the one drop. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur made from one drop of that, the ocean of Bhakti Ras. So again and again you see this word, Hey Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya, give me just one drop of mercy. Why? Because even one particle of dust, as Sudevi told the other day, from their lotus feet is sufficient to save millions and millions from this blazing forest fire of material existence. So even praying for just one particle, everything can be manifest via that medium. Excuse me, been a bit dusty today. So our Gurudev was speaking about greed. And as we've told before, greed is not bad. It depends on how you use it. If you utilize greed for mundane things, then that becomes unfavorable for bhakti. Not just unfavorable, detrimental, or even destructive toward our inclination for bhakti. Patyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha lolyamcha shadbhir bhaktir vinashyati. Vinash means to destroy. So lolyam, or greed for material achievements, greed for material things, intense, needy desire, greed for those things is actually destructive to our inclination on the path of bhakti. But when this desperate neediness for Krishna Seva manifests, service to Krishna manifests in the heart, then that greed is the root qualification for the attainment of Krishna Prem. Without that, Srila Gurudev said, no one can attain Brajabhav, a mood like that of the Brajavasis, love and affection for Krishna. It's not possible. One cannot attain that kind of Krishna Prem without that intense necessity, that deep hankering, which causes exclusive one-pointedness to such an extent that by hook, by crook, by any means possible, one will endeavor to attain it. This is the requirement if one wants that. And it doesn't mean that if you have that desire that you can actually get it, but if one has that desire, it is so attractive to Krishna that he will also want to meet with you when you have that desire to meet with him. In this connection, once upon a time, Srila Gurudev was telling about this deep kind of absorption. He said once, there was a young girl, it came time for her marriage. From her childhood, she had heard about the beauty and glories of Krishna. And she always longed to see him and longed to meet him. She developed an intense desire in her heart after hearing about him. Oh, I want to see Krishna. Especially hearing how beautiful he is when he's entering the forest in the morning with his friends and the calves. What a beautiful vision she's heard of. And she developed such a longing to see that beautiful form of Krishna. So it so happened that she was married to a young man in Vrindavan. So this was her happy day. Finally, I'm able to go to Vrindavan. I might receive the opportunity to witness this beautiful form of Krishna. Now, this is greed, isn't it? Okay, by any means, I'll get married in Vrindavan so I can see this beautiful form of Krishna. She was so excited in her heart. So, as Krishna was entering the forest in the morning, he was playing on the holes of his flute. Srila Gurudev said, as he was playing on his flute, it felt that his heart was melting. The moods of his heart were flowing through that flute song and inundating all of Vrindavan. Everyone began to run out of their homes to see that beautiful form of Krishna as he was entering the forest in the morning. At that moment, that young girl's mother-in-law and sister-in-law, hearing that flute song of Krishna, began to run out of the house to go see Krishna. And she said, oh, I'm also going. I also want to go and see. And they said, no, you're too young. You're too immature. You're not qualified to go out there. If you go out there, a black snake will bite you. And if that poison enters, it will never leave. You're not able to handle it. You're not mature enough, so you must stay here. She said, what do you mean? Everyone in all of Vrindavan is going to see him. Even the birds, the bees, the insects, everyone, everything is going. Everyone is going. Only I can't see. No, you're not qualified. You're not allowed to go. She was completely broken-hearted. So, then they heard Krishna coming close by. They heard his flute song, and this mother-in-law and sister-in-law forgot everything about this young girl, this newly married girl in their household. And they ran out to go see this beautiful form of Krishna. That girl was there feeling her heart breaking that she wasn't able to go. But she kept her door cracked in such a way that she could see out and no one could see in. And she was just glancing out, maybe I can see Krishna somehow or other. She had such an intense burning in her heart, such an intense greed to see Krishna. Gurudev said, it may be that Krishna wants to see someone or maybe not. But if someone has intense desire to see him, then he will want to see them first of all. So on this day, as Krishna was going out toward the forest, he wanted to see this person who was so eager and greedy to see him. So Krishna came past that place. Everyone ran for darshan and she was just trying to see. As Krishna was going past her place, he twisted the tail of a calf. And it turned and it ran just toward her door. Gurudev said in such a way as if it had been trained to do so. That calf ran toward her door and burst her door open. And Krishna was chasing after that calf and took it as an opportunity. The door burst open and she was standing there and Krishna was standing just in front of her. She was so eager to see him and he also became so eager to see her. Then he stood in front of her, took his most beautiful, charming, strong, handsome, heroic form. What is that? Shyama Sundar, Shyamam Tribhanga Lalitam Niyata Prakasham. He took his threefold bending form. Gurudev said his shoulders were very broad, his waist was very thin, he looked like a young lion. And he placed his flute to his lips like this, in such a way her heart was completely gone. Just seeing this beautiful form of Krishna. And then he took his flute and just clipped it under her chin like this. He turned and walked away. Gurudev said, Man mana bhav. Her mind, her heart, everything was completely stolen, gone, long gone. Went with Krishna out to the forest, and she was standing there like a stone pillar, completely stunned, stamba. Her mother-in-law and sister-in-law came back after some time. Hey, what are you doing just standing there? And she was completely unable to respond. And they were like, what happened? It's like she's seen a ghost or been possessed by a ghost. And they're like, we need to keep her busy. So the mother-in-law gave her a churning rod, told her, you should churn some yogurt and make butter. So she just took that churning rod and put it into a pot of what she thought was yogurt and began to churn, only thinking, he touched me. Thinking of the beauty of Krishna at that time, she's churning. Sometimes stopping, sometimes churning, making a horrible sound, but completely oblivious to everything that was going on externally. She was only thinking of Krishna. It so happened that she was actually churning a pot of mustard seeds. And the mother-in-law and sister-in-law were like, oh my God, you need to be doing something else. Don't do this. Give her something more to do. Keep her busy. Keep her occupied. So they gave her something. A baby in one arm. Look after that baby. 2 pots on her head. And a rope in this hand. Go to the well and fetch some water. Completely thinking about Krishna. Completely absorbed in him. Heart and mind completely gone. She went to the well to fetch some water. At that time, she wasn't able to even think properly. And she began tying the rope around the pot, except it wasn't the pot. She was tying the rope around the baby and began to lower it into the well, and all the other gopis were like, whoa, 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 what's going on here? They're like, it's like she's been possessed by a ghost. Maybe she's been possessed by some bhoot. And the other gopis who recognized the symptoms, they said, oh, this is no bhoot, no ghost. This is Nanda Kaput. Means the son of Nanda Maharaj has completely captivated her heart, completely captured her mind, and stolen them completely. mother-in-law and sister-in-law, they're like, we told you, we warned you, if that black snake bites you, that poison will never leave. So, this is the nature of Krishna and of the devotee. If someone is so desperately eager to see Krishna, if someone is so desperately eager to receive his darshan, oh, he becomes so eager to also see them. So this greed is necessary. And that greed burnt off all obstacles. So much so that Krishna himself twisted the tail of that calf, made the arrangement, and gave her that beautiful darshan. Srila Gurudev, not only Gurudev, the gopis themselves, had said that those eyes that have not seen this beautiful vision of Krishna as he's entering into the forest in the morning, they're completely useless. They should be burned, set on fire. They have no reason to exist. So Gurudev would tell this in terms of greed and in terms of what kind of mood is necessary in order to enter into Vrindavan. So Gurudev here was saying, therefore in sequence, first as the initiating spiritual master, then as the instructing spiritual master, then Bhagavan himself. They come as Guru to increase our greed. So far the greed of Gopkumar had reached up to Vaikuntha, but now Nard has come to increase his greed still further. As it increases more and more, finally Krishna will give him the highest treasure, which is only given to someone who is fully greedy for it. So we need to awaken that. And that greed is awakened in the association of Krishna's pure devotees. That is why it is so essential that we somehow or other avail ourselves of the opportunity of associating with Krishna's pure devotee. Because their heart is burning for Krishna like that. When we hear from them, when we associate with them, that mood will also manifest in our heart. That's what happened to Rukmini. Narada Muni would come to her father's kingdom and would speak to her father. And as a young princess, it was proper for her to serve the sadhu. So she would serve Narada Muni. And she would overhear the Harikatha, the way Narada Muni would glorify Krishna to her father. Just hearing about Krishna, his name, his form, his qualities, his pastimes, his beauty, everything, she was becoming more and more, gradually, just overhearing, she was becoming obsessed with that personality. So much so that when her brother tried to marry her to Shishupal, she was like, what? I've already given my heart to Krishna. So she wrote a letter, gave it to her Brahmin friend and said, take it to Krishna. What did that letter say? What is meant for the lion is now going to be stolen by the jackal. If you do not come to take me, I have no reason to maintain my life. I will give up my life immediately. I've already given my heart to you. So Gurudev said, in this case, he said if anyone, if they become a little upset, maybe he will hear or not. If they weep, he might notice more, but if they threaten to give up their life, he's completely controlled. So Krishna was bound to come and take her. But why did she develop that greed? Why? By hearing the Harikatha from the mouth of that person who is a Tattvadarshi, who knows Krishna personally, who has witnessed Krishna's pastimes personally. That's how she developed that greed. That is the same way that the Yagyapatnis, the wives of the Brahmanas, developed that greed. By overhearing the Katha, the glories of Krishna from the mouths of the gopis. They developed that intense greed. So much so that they rejected everything. Napatishta sasyam, they even rejected the orders of their husbands and ran to serve Krishna. Because of hearing this Harikatha. That is also how the fruit seller was willing to give up everything and came to Krishna and was able to call out to him in such a way that he left the lap of his mother and ran to give her what she needed, which was his darshan and this feeling of vatsalyata, parental mood. He sat in her lap, held onto her neck and called her mother. Why did she develop that kind of mood? By hearing about Krishna's beauty, his pastimes, his sweetness from those who had experienced it. That is tattva darshi, one who has experienced. Prabhupada writes, who practically experiences the truth, who has practical experience of their relationship with Krishna. This is tattva darshi. So, it is essential for us to also have that kind of association, to be able to awaken this greed, which is required and essential for us to actually bring us to our perfection, which is this eternal loving eternal beloved relationship with Krishna in loving service. Prema Bhakti becomes mature in a similar way as a mango becomes ripe. There are many kinds of mango. Some mangoes are so sweet, fragrant, and delicious that upon tasting one of them, you won't want to stop eating until it is finished. During mango season here, there were so many different varieties of mango and so many different flavors. Very amazing. I didn't know that there were so many different varieties, and some were so sweet, so fragrant, so creamy and juicy at the same time. Again and again, you will keep putting the mango to your mouth, and as long as there is a little juice remaining in it, you will not discard it. So where is prem found in its full maturity? In the company of the Brajavasis. In the company of the Nitya Siddha associates of Krishna, it will be fully mature and nowhere else. So that's why it is recommended Tishtan Braje, reside in Vrindavan, Tad Anuragi Jananugami, under the guidance of that person whose heart is saturated in Braja Ras, Braja Bhav. Actually, it means a Brajavasi. So, when we look from the outside, it might be a little bit difficult to discern. But we understand that our Guru Varga have a form externally which might look like Srila Prabhupada, or our Gurudev, or Bhaktivedanta Thakur, or Bhaktisiddhanta, so many of our Guru Varga. But who are they? What is their intrinsic inherent relationship with Krishna? Who is Bhaktivedanta Thakur? From the outside, he looks like one way, but we understand that he's a maidservant of Srimati Radhika, Kamala Manjari, serving Radha and Krishna in the Nikunjas of Vrindavan. Who is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada? Nayana Mani, Manjari, a young maidservant, like 12 and a half, serving Radha and Krishna in the Nikunjas of Vrindavan. So, under their guidance, because they are Brajavasis, the mood in their heart, their mood of service, all of their aspirations, their hopes, their moods of service, by being in their association, we can also gradually awaken what is in our hearts. That mood which is present within the inherency, the inherent mood within our Atma, to love and serve Radha and Krishna in the Nikunjas of Vrindavan. So in the company of the Brajavasis, then this Nitya Siddha Bhav will become fully mature. And nowhere else. I was just thinking of this verse, Nitya Siddhasya Bhavasya Prakatyam Hridi Sadhyata. How to awaken our perfection. Sadhyata, in the association of those Nitya Siddha, means eternally perfect associates of Krishna. By being in their association, what is present within us will fully awaken. It'll be gradual, but it will fully awaken until we attain perfection. Nitya Siddhasya Bhavasya Prakatyam. The word Prakatya means manifest, some people translate it is that in a way that they say they give it to you, but we've understood from our Guru Varga that this prakatyam doesn't mean that they have given it to you, but they will awaken. It will manifest itself from within by their association. And our Srila Prabhupada very emphatically declared this. Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Srila Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, most of our acharyas very emphatically declaring this point. And our Gurudev preached it very, very boldly, very strongly, very clearly throughout the world again and again and again and again and again. And there's a beautiful book which has come out. What is it called? The Swarup of the Jiva. With so many relevant quotes from our Shastras, from our Gurudev, from so many of our acharyas explaining these points. So, nityasiddhasya bhavasya prakatyam. Our perfection will be attained in their association. Today I saw a very interesting, what do you call it, a drawing. It had two pictures next to each other. And it said the value of small steps. And it showed two ladders. One had lots of rungs, and one had each rung 7 feet apart from each other. So one had each rung about 1 foot apart from each other, and the other one had them about 7 feet apart from each other. And so it showed the value of small steps. If you try to jump too far, too fast, it will be extremely difficult. But if you have small steps, then you can just go 1 step at a time, and gradually you will attain your destination. Like our Srila Gurudev said, with that example he gives with his fingers, walking that caterpillar down his arm, 1 foot firmly fixed, then the back one lifted, then that one firmly fixed, back one lifted. Step by step, very carefully. Don't try to jump to the top of the tree all of a sudden. You may fall and smash everything. So very carefully, step at a time, following the process that they've given, then we can hope to attain to perfection. So now Srila Gurudev is saying, only in the association of those Nitya Siddha associates, the eternally perfect associates of Krishna, of Vrindavan, the Brajabasis, will our prema become fully mature and nowhere else. So at that time in Vaikuntha, Gopkumar's prem had not yet fully matured. It was still a little unripe. So for the denizens of Vaikuntha, their fruit is completely, perfectly ripe and mature. But because that was not his eternal destination, different kind of fruit or different kind of mango. His was not yet fully mature. He needed to continue onward to develop complete maturity. So Narada is saying that there is no one capable of describing the nature of fully matured prema. Why? Because even Srimati Radhika is not capable of it. If anyone could describe it, it would be her. Why am I saying this? There's a verse Lord Shiva is saying, Aham Vedmi. I know Srimad Bhagavatam. Sukho Veti. Shukadeva Goswami knows Srimad Bhagavatam. Vyaso Veti na Veti va. Vyas may or may not know. Why? We've told this before. Because Vyas is a direct manifestation of Krishna. Our Vyasadeva is known as Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas. Not different from Krishna. So Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas, because Krishna is in the mood of the enjoyer, not in the mood of the servitor, he can't fully understand what it is to love him from the perspective of a devotee. That's why he has taken shelter of the bhavs, the moods of Srimati Radhika. Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima. How great is her love? How does she feel upon receiving my love? What is the amazing thing about me that she's experiencing? And what happiness does she experience upon loving me or serving me? I want to know this. So therefore he has manifested in the form of Sri Sachinandan Gaurahari, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to taste these three main moods of Srimati Radhika. Chaitanya Charitamrita explicitly states that this is his primary reason for taking that form. Secondary reasons are to distribute Krishna Prem and to distribute the Yuga Dharma, which is Harinam Sankirtan. Secondary. His primary reasons are his own internal reasons for himself. So primary reasons are to taste the bhavs of Srimati Radhika, and because he himself called himself in the form of Advaita Charya, not different from Mahavishnu, calling Brajendanandan Shyamasundar Krishna to manifest, who manifested as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These are the internal primary reasons, and secondary reasons are to distribute Krishna Prem in the wake of the moods of the Brajvasis, and Nam Sankirtan, the Yuga Dharma, means the process to attain perfection for the jivas within this age. So, Aham Vedmi Sukho Vedi Vyaso Vedi Naveti Va. Who can understand Prem? What is Prem? Prem is the... I'm not able to fully explain it, so of course I'm going to become a little stumped here, endeavoring to explain it. Prem is not owned by Krishna. Okay, he has Radha Prem. He has Prem for Radha. But who has Prem for Krishna? This Prem that we're discussing is called Krishna Prema, love and affection for Krishna. Krishna doesn't have it. He's endeavoring to taste it in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but in the form of Krishna, he does not have Krishna Prem. Who is the embodiment of Krishna Prem? Krishna Prema Mayi Radha. Radha Prema Mayo Hari. She is the embodiment of Krishna Prem. And even she cannot fully explain it. If anyone could explain it, it would be her. But even here we're seeing only the devotee can explain it, and even they feel, I cannot explain it. So here, she will not be able to describe it. Even she's not capable of it. In fact, if there is any person who is the most capable of describing it, it is Srimati Radhika. Because she herself is fully immersed in that rasa. She is known as Mahabhava Swarupini. She is the form of the highest moods of love and affection for Krishna. She's experiencing even what no one else experiences. Unata Ujvala Ras, that highest, topmost form of love and affection for Krishna. We've heard of Prem, Sneha, Man, Pranaya, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav, Modan, Madan, Madanakya Mahabhav. And it keeps going forever and ever and ever. Javat Ashray Vritti. More and more and more and more. So here, it is said, Gurudeva is saying, if there's any person capable of describing it, that is her. Because she herself is fully immersed in that rasa. She will not be able to describe what she is experiencing. She will not be able to describe what she's experiencing. But those who remain aloof will be able to describe it a little bit. It means a little something of it, if they remain aloof. So those who are in it won't be able to describe it properly. But if you step back and take a look at it from a tattva, basic foundational perspective, or even from the rasa perspective, but from here, then you may be able to describe it a little bit in some way. But when one is absorbed in it, how can they describe it? So we see that even our Guru Varga, on one level they're absorbed in it, but on another level they, I want to use this term, are a little bit aloof. So they're able to explain things from the tattva perspective and the rasa perspective. How can I say this? Because in Vrindavan, in their Braj moods, they don't see Krishna as God. as maidservants of Srimati Radhika, are they looking at him going, oh, you are the supreme Lord of everything? No. They're seeing him as the supreme Cupid, Sakshat Manmata. They're seeing him as the beloved of Srimati Radhika, Radha Kanta. And they're in love with the love of Radha and Krishna. But they're not seeing that he is God and worshipping him with this Aishwarya Gyan. But we see that these same personalities who are serving in those intimate pastimes are manifesting I'm also getting it.
That's not my ringtone. I hate it, just so everyone knows.
I'll change it just afterward. So, oh no, it's still playing on mine. 1 second. How did that keep coming? Okay.
Just remember the time.
Yes. Where was I? So I was speaking about our Guru Varga. From one perspective, they're not aware that Krishna is God. Like Prabhupada says, the Brajavasis, they don't know that Krishna is God. All they know is that they love him and he loves them. They don't care he might be some demigod or have some special power or maybe be infused with the Shakti of Narayan from time to time or this or that. All they know is that they love him. But in this world, we see that our Guru Varga are conversant in all kinds of philosophical conceptions. And they can speak about all of these things. They speak about Srimad Bhagavatam. They're talking about all of the different aspects of Krishna, from his forms as Paramatma, his form as manifesting as Guru and Shiksha Guru and this and that, all the way through all of the different Vishnu forms, Narayan and Vaikuntha, Ram, Dwarkadish, Mathuresh Krishna, Braj Krishna, from the perspectives of all of the different rasas. This is a lot of tattva gyan. And they're able to speak about this. And also from the perspective of rasa vichar. Discriminate this way and that way. So through there, that's the perspective of rasa. Of relationship and taste and moods. So from this perspective, they are taking some kind of aloofness to be able to express these very essential subjects to us so that we can have some kind of understanding and develop some kind of greed in our hearts to move forward from here. But ultimately, in their internal serving moods, as eternal associates of Radha and Krishna, this is not their subject of deep contemplation, at least not in direct relationship to Radha and Krishna, who they only see as their Swami and Swamini. So, those who remain aloof will be able to describe a little something of it. So both things are able to happen simultaneously. As our Gurudev said about Krishna. Krishna is so absorbed in Brajabhav, in the relationship with the Brajavasis, that he becomes completely covered by their love and affection and forgets everything. So then how can he hear our prayers? Gurudev explained in the beginning of this book that Krishna is simultaneously able to experience being completely covered and also being all-knowing. So he's able to do both at the same time. In the same way, our Guru Varga, our Mugdata in their Leela and in this realm, although we understand that internally they're experiencing that, they're able to also reveal and understand and know all of these different subject matters. Transcendental subject matters. Let me just finish this paragraph. When a man has entered into rasa, what will he himself speak about it? He will not say anything. In any description of the state of Mahaprabhu's prem, we don't find in any place that he himself described it. In some places, Swarup Damodar has described it in poetry. Rup Goswami described a little of it, and by hearing from Rup and Raghunath, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami described something of it, but he was unable to describe it completely. So, previously Gurudeva was speaking about Srimati Radhika, also not capable of describing it. And before this, we referenced Prem Samput. Prem Samput is when Krishna, dressed as a gopi, very beautiful form as Shyama Saki, very dark complexion, the same as Krishna, but dressed as a gopi, and then approached Srimati Radhika to inquire about the nature of Prem. What is it? And she's trying to explain it this way and that way and in so many different ways. And it's so beautiful, but ultimately she explains that Prem is such a thing that actually it cannot be explained in words. In order to understand what it is, you must experience it. And even then it cannot be explained. It is only something that can be experienced. So here Srila Gurudev is also making reference to that if anyone could explain it, it should be her. But even she's not fully capable of explaining it, because she is the embodiment of the purest and highest form of Prem, love and affection for Krishna. And in fact, all other forms of those who are servants of and lovers of Krishna are manifestations of her bhavs, her moods of love and affection for Krishna. So if anyone can explain it, it is the source of all of that love. She is the Adhishtatri Devata of Hladini. She is that Shakti, the potency of love for Krishna. And she is the medium by which our love and affection is transmitted to Krishna. So, if we want to understand what it is, then we need to enter into it. To enter into that prem. And in order to enter into that prema ras, we have a process. Taking shelter of Sri Guru. Taking the association of and inspiration from, and receiving the greed in the association of Vaishnavas to propel us forward. Then taking shelter of our Goswamis. Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghujago Shri Jiva Gopalako. Then taking shelter of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Ar Kave Nitai Chandar Koruna Have Sangsarabhashanamur Kave Tuchahave. And by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, one can attain the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is our process. And Narottam Das Thakur, he says, Gaura Prema Rasarnave Se Tarange Jevaruve Se Radham Madhava Antaranga. Diving deep into the ocean of Gaur Prem. One will surface where? In Jamuna. In the association of Sri Sri Radha Madhava. Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ju Ki Jai. Shri Sachinandan Gaura Hari Ki Jai. Patit Pavana Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Srila Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. All Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. All Vaishnavas Ki Jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Madhu Mangal. I can't believe him.
Is he messing with me about
Yeah, he's like, this is Sudevi's favorite song, everybody.
Just so all the devotees know, when Madhu Mangal was our drummer,
yeah, he traveled with us for a few years.
He would write ahead and tell people my list of necessities like chocolate and potato chips and candles and all kinds of things. And when we would arrive, he would accept it on my behalf. Yeah, just so you know. He would say it was what I needed, and then Madhu would take the chocolate and run. Yeah, he would say, did you arrange for the Sudevi's order? And they're like, yes, we got everything. He said, okay, I'll give it to her. And then he would just take it and bring it to his room. This is a constant source of delight for us. Even Isha Takarani, who's on here, she calls him her chocolate son.
That's right. She has a chocolate son and his name is Madhumangal.
Madhumangal.
He somehow takes after the original Madhumangal.
Yeah, so careful of that one.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.